Howdy, Desert Boy here. Hey, today I got something really different. Now, I've been kind of going out and looking at, some used gun stores and things like that. And I come across something that was kind of intriguing to me, and I wasn't sure I could get ammunition for it. So I was kind of reluctant to make that purchase. Now, that's why sometimes I'm out and about, I'll buy something like 32 ACP or 25 ACP or something, even though I may not have a gun for it. Because, well, I might run across one someday and I'm kind of interested in it and then I would have some ammo for it. But that's just kind of my thinking. Remember, this is kind of my thoughts and opinions on what works for me, the hobbyist and enthusiast. So, um, one of the things I want to share with you today is sometimes, having a smaller pistol, even than maybe a J frame or about in that size, but maybe by a lesser known manufacturer could be kind of handy. And what I'm talking about today is one that looks like this. Okay. Now this is a H&R 733. This gun is in 32 Smith & Wesson Long. Okay. So I was thinking, I don't know if I can get ammo for this. It looks like to me, because of the shininess of this finish, that this is probably a nickel finish, and it's about a 2-inch barrel. I think it's 1 and 15/16 or something like that. I think it's about 6.5 inches long, or 6 and 5/8, about 4 and 3/8 high. I don't have a weight on it. It is fairly kind of hefty. I kind of put it in there. I guess it's somewhere between, could be 25 ounces or more, and I don't have a scale, unfortunately. This particular one, and these have the type of, you got to pull the pin, right? The cylinder, the cylinder pin here, kind of like when you're pulling out to get a single action out, and we'll show that it's unloaded here. Let's just show that it's unloaded, okay? And so we can see it's an unloaded gun. And to put this back up in here is a little tricky sometimes. Kind of getting it in there to seat it, that seems to be the trick. And then the lockup on it is okay. It's got a rather large hammer. It's got just the basic, some basic sights here that are, they're really where once the hammer's cocked is when you can see the sight picture. So you can see here. And I haven't, of course, had it to the range yet. I know I'm kind of just flipping it around here. I'm just trying to give you kind of a slow look at it. But one thing about 32 caliber is that it's a centerfire caliber. So if you want to go for a smaller caliber, some people go to like 22 Magnum or something. This isn't going to save you any weight because it's a steel pistol. It's by H&R Harrington and Richardson. From what I can tell, like I said, this is about 1980. I think maybe I said that. And in case you're wondering what the bullets look like, they look about like this. They're kind of smaller. If I was to compare it to a 38 Special, and I will put a photo in this video kind of comparing that. This is a 38 Special self-defense round against an FMJ. You can see there's a bit of difference in that. And these ones, the ammunition, I did buy 3 different kinds. I have a lead round nose, a wad cutter, and what was the other? The other one's a full metal jacket. And the wad cutters are 100 grain, the other ones are 97 grains. And these bullets, they have sufficient velocity to be. You have to make your own judgment about it, but I think many people would say they're probably adequate for self-defense at the velocities that they have. 949 feet per second, for example, on a full metal jacket round. Finding, self-defense only rounds, that's probably a little trickier for something like that. But wad cutters, some people use those very effectively for self-defense. So anyway, I bought this gun because they have less recoil. A lot of people like 32 in some ways because of this, reduced recoil. By the way, here's a wad cutter, right? Here's a lead round nose. Once again, the FMJ on 32 Smith & Wesson Long. And as you can see, these are centerfire bullets. Pardon me. It's got a fairly large trigger guard, so getting your finger in there is not an issue. And because of the weight of the gun too, what it's made of, with the 32 caliber Smith & Wesson Long, the recoil, in my understanding of videos I've watched, and I haven't had to the range yet, but I will, is pretty, pretty good recoil in the sense that it's mild recoil, and you still get a centerfire cartridge, which gives you maybe some more reliability than a rimfire like a 22 Magnum or a 22 Long rifle, and so it has sufficient velocity. Depending on what you believe to be sufficient velocity, you have to make your own judgments. Watch your own experts, come to the conclusion. I think it might be a little more, have a little more velocity than 32 ACP, but I don't know that. I haven't done that kind of comparison or looked at that. I don't have a 32 ACP, but it's once again, it's an alternative. This is an up close and personal kind of gun. This isn't meant for long range shooting or something like that. It's meant for concealability, and this is what a lot of people would probably have termed one of the original Saturday night specials. Now, my understanding is even when these were new, these were only a few $100s, if that much. And they've been producing them for a long time. I think going back into the 50s, all the way up into the 80s, and maybe even the 90s, depending on the serial number you look at. So I got that just because I thought it looked interesting, and I wanted to kind of go to the range and try it out and just have kind of an alternative one. Sometimes you might have members of your family that maybe they're recoil sensitive, and something like this might be an alternative, because that's still a 100-grain bullet you're pushing out there, or 97 grains. And like I said, some of these are, I think, 900 feet per second is what they're rated at. I don't have any information on what barrel length they measured that in, so that would be helpful if we knew that. But anyway, just something to think about. Harrington Richardson 733, 32 caliber Smith & Wesson Long. Just a nice looking gun, kind of something different. Of course, the grips are plastic, they're not super heavy duty or anything. But I am looking forward to taking that to the range and see how it does. So, as We Desert Boy always says, and by the way, this one here, you can get these, they're priced from what I've seen from about $200 to $300. Because I was buying another used gun at the time, which I will profile against eventually, I was able to get this one, for less than $200, below $150 actually. So that was a good deal. I saw another one at a pawn shop which I thought about buying, because I know parts for these are probably not that easy to get, depending on if they're similar to yours. It was about $300. So this one was originally listed at $200, or $199. Something like that. But anyway, that's just for the purposes of giving you an idea of what the used gun cost might be for something like that. But that's, it's a decision you would have to make for yourself. So, as Desert Boy always says, be safe out there, whatever you're doing. And if you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Bye now. Oh yeah, just a couple of other things. Now the ammo is not that easy to find. You know, you're probably gonna have to find some way to get it. My local dealer happened to have a box, and I got some ammo. Other ways that it's possible for me to get that ammo. You have to check your own laws and all that as far as what you can do about acquiring ammo. Because states, counties, cities, things, you know, a lot of ordinances nowadays, people can't even get ammo if they want to get it. The other thing is that you know, the 3 boxes of ammo I got actually cost more than it did for the gun. But that's, you know, when you got something like this, it's probably what's going to happen, you know. And lastly, you know, if you look closely at my hat, I know it's not the highest res there. There's maybe some things ahead, some changes ahead for Desert Boy, but that's for another video. So anyway, hopefully we'll get this to the range, and then we can see how it did. Desert Boy always says, be safe out there.